What's up, roomies?
Hi, everybody.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Nye.
And welcome to the Rainbow.
Just say Rainbow Room.
I thought you were going to end it.
No.
Right. What's up, roomies?
Hi, everybody.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Nye.
And welcome to the Rainbow Room.
We are so happy that you are here with
Yes,
us today.
yes.
And if you saw our title and if you listened to our episode from last week, you should know that this is our conspiracy theory and Reddit stories episode.
Long awaited conspiracy theory episode.
Yes, so this has been requested over and over,
Yeah.
so we are finally delivering. It seems like everyone really loves the Reddit stories as well, so we thought that we would just combine the two.
Right,
Give
right.
you guys an extra long episode of just our opinions on some Reddit stories
Yeah.
and some interesting conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have some good conversation. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's hop into it, y'all.
So our first segment today is our conspiracy segment, and that is called Behind Closed Doors. And Kendall is gonna start us off this week.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So what I want to talk about is this new discovery within the archaeological world. This is related to some Egyptian pyramid-related things. Let's just hop into it. So recently, all right, y'all. So researchers recently uncovered a massive discovery beneath the Khafre pyramid at the Giza complex using this new latest and greatest radar technology. And pretty much what they found is changing everything we thought we knew about Egyptian architecture and engineering. Mm-hmm. All right, let me tell y'all what they found. First off, beneath this pyramid, they found 8 shafts. All right, y'all. So using their radar technology, they were able to locate 8 shafts beneath this pyramid. And these shafts were surrounded by spiral tunnels that wind deep into the earth. And let me just tell y'all how large these shafts were under the pyramid that they found. So these shafts are twice the size of the Eiffel Tower. These 8 shafts going deep into the earth located under this pyramid that they've never seen before are the length of twice the size of the Eiffel Tower.
Deep?
Exactly.
Like,
we gotta get into this. Exactly. Because how the hell, y'all? This was 4,500 years ago that they are dating these pyramids back to, and they're telling us with this radar technology they found 8 shafts, and there's a picture here so y'all can see it. Twice the size of the Eiffel Tower going deep into the earth. Okay? Now you may be asking, what are these shafts leading to? Again, they also have spiral tunnels around the shafts that I'm assuming that's how they navigate down these shafts or whatever. So they've got the spiral tunnels around these 8 shafts, and they lead to 2 large cubes. So all 8 of these shafts, 4 and 4, lead to 2 large cubes about 80 meters by 80 meters long. Okay, y'all, for comparison, 80 meters is roughly the size of a football field. Okay? 2 football fields.
So what's
below
in
these?
there?
Okay, yeah, and so pretty much people are saying that, they can't they haven't gotten down there. This is all by radar technology, non-invasive. So they're saying that these could be used for rituals, or they're ceremonial spaces, or burial chambers. So they're not sure what is in them, but they're underneath the pyramid. There's these huge shafts, twice the size of the Eiffel Tower, leading to 2 giant football fields.
Yes.
And then on top of that, the shafts have spiral tunnels around them. And on top of that, y'all, what else they found? Above these shafts, they found 5 new chambers. So I'm going to insert a photo here, but there's 5 new chambers. So let me show my baby. It looks like this. These are the 5 chambers we're talking about.
Okay.
Above these shafts. And, they're not sure what's in these, but why I'm bringing up the chambers, y'all, is because these chambers they are nearly identical to the chambers found at the Great Pyramid of Giza. So not only structurally, but how they're assembled in the pyramid. They're assembled in a very particular way, and it matches these Great Pyramid of Giza. It matches what was found within the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah, they know this because they have distinct architectural designs and stuff like that. But let me keep it moving. So long story short, y'all, this is leaving a lot of people stunned because like it's making everyone question, how are the Egyptians capable of working with these massive scale with such massive scale projects, as well as the precision. They're talking about how precise everything is. And again, underground. They did this underground. How in the world were they able to do this?
They were like, I don't know, when it comes to ancient Egyptian history, I feel like they were so much far along than a lot of people may have realized, and so much more developed than many people realize, because how is this even possible?
Yeah.
Like what were they doing?
Right.
How did they do this?
It's like, how the hell?
Yeah. And it's crazy that they're just now finding this because it was so deep.
It was so
under
deep.
the pyramid. Like that shit's crazy.
No one probably even thought that.
Yeah.
Like they thought the pyramid itself is still like, how did they build
it? It probably was like ritualistic. I don't know, because the fact that it's found in other pyramids too, like the same type of structure. It's very interesting.
Yeah. But there's more, y'all. So again, back to these chambers. So they're saying that these chambers, like the structure of them and the layout beneath the pyramid, also resembles the design found in Angkor Wat. Sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I'm going to put a photo up on the screen. And so pretty much just some history there. Angkor Wat is a massive temple located in Cambodia near the town of, I'm just going to leave it at that, located in Cambodia. It is the largest religious monument in the world and was originally constructed in the early 12th century by the, is it Khmer? Not sure. Khmer Empire. Primarily as a Hindu temple dedicated to the god of Vishnu, but it later became a Buddhist temple. Mm-hmm. Now, guys, I want to talk about these structures and how they're laid out. So researchers suggest that the arrangement of these brand new chambers and also the arrangement of the chambers at Angkor Wat resemble the arrangement of the structural layout of MEMS HF oscillators. Now you may be like, what the hell is that? But listen to me. Hear me out, y'all. So MEMS stands for micro electromechanical systems. And what these micro oscillators are used for are to generate high frequency signals. So these MEMS devices, they are used to generate high frequency signals and often used in communications, sensors, or timing applications. And these frequencies are crucial for radio communications, radar systems, and precise timekeeping. So what I'm saying at here is HF oscillators, they use very precise geometric patterns to create these high frequency waves for communication or timekeeping. And did these ancient civilizations understand that and apply the same geometric principles to align their structures for some type of energetic or resonant purposes? Because what I'm saying here, y'all, is if you look at these layouts, like if you look at the layouts of these chambers, they match almost exactly to these oscillators. Do you think they knew about
and you're
how
saying
to
these
arrange
oscillators were used to produce communication and frequency
and high frequencies? To these oscillators are specifically used to generate high frequency signals.
But what are the signals used for?
For like communications or sensors or timings. But I'm saying here is, did these ancient Egyptians and other people know about kind of somehow about this structural arrangement, that this can help produce higher frequencies for whether, whatever that it means to them, like to maybe...
Well, it's interesting because, pyramids a lot of the times were used for burial grounds.
Exactly. So
were they trying to connect with the afterlife?
Exactly.
Are they trying to connect with the gods?
That's what I'm saying here. And were they aware that this particular like geometric principle, like were they aware that aligning like this would be a way to produce potentially a higher frequency?
It seems like it, yeah. My question is, what were they trying to do with that
energy? Yeah, like
I feel like they were trying to connect, because the fact that it's like a lot of pyramids seem to be like portals.
That's what I'm saying.
Portals or high like energetic areas,
right?
Or high energetic fields. I just want to know, like, what were they tapping into, and how did they get this knowledge?
Right. Because, I mean, you can't deny it, y'all. If you look at it, I mean, it's very similar. And again, the arrangement is very important for these oscillators. So were they almost like, did they know about this principle? Did they know that arranging chambers and things like this could potentially produce a higher energy for whatever purpose or whatever spiritual things they've got going on? It could potentially what's the word? Amplify what they're trying to do, these arrangements.
And connect with.
It seems
because
intentional.
the fact that it was at the other temple as well,
Right.
another spiritual place.
And again, these are huge. These are monumental places. The other place that had a very similar architecture was the Hindu temple, and it's the largest religious monument in the entire world. And it just so happens to have the same structure that they found hidden within the pyramids. And it has, and researchers are finding that it's just interesting, the layout of these chambers, because it resembles these high frequency devices, high energy devices. Did they know what they were doing? Because obviously
it seems like
they
yes,
knew
the
some.
answer is
They
yes.
obviously were incredibly intelligent and
yeah.
advanced, because they built what they built that was the size of 2 football fields and twice the size of the Eiffel Tower under a ginormous pyramid 4,500 years ago. How the hell did they do that?
I find that so interesting. I want to know what they were using that technology for. Okay, y'all. We had some more technical difficulties.
Like, I need to be fired. But long story short, y'all, I just think it's insane, these discoveries. I don't know, like, how did they build this? You know, I guess we'll never know. And also, let me know in the comments if you think I'm reaching about the resemblance of these high frequency oscillators and the arrangement of these chambers they found at these very important religious structures.
Yeah.
These huge monumental structures have the same. They've got these chambers that are in the same. Sorry, y'all. Honey's pissing me off. She's over here, y'all. Here, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
They can't see her.
They can see her head. Say hello. Long story short, y'all, I just think it's, I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think they knew what they were doing.
And I find it interesting, like, but I find it interesting when it comes to these, like, ancient civilizations, because you know how people say, like, history repeats itself over a certain amount of years. Things just repeat themselves. So I find it interesting how we're so fascinated with what ancient civilizations knew, but it's like, I feel like the knowledge is just recycled. And like, we think that we're discovering something new, but are we really?
Right.
Like, I feel like this makes us question whether we are really discovering anything new, or if it's just new to us. Right. You know? Like, I don't know. I find that very interesting, though.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you're reaching at all.
I don't know, y'all. Let me know. I don't think it's a coincidence, and especially just the way that these structures are so monumental and so important. And the Egyptians, I think they were known for being kind of, I guess, wanting to reach their ancestors. I don't know, how should I put that? Like, they were very people. Like, how do you say that?
No,
like,
they were very spiritual people. I feel like they were very tapped into their practices, the afterlife, the gods that and deities that they would worship and honor. So I find it very interesting, and it's crazy that you're talking about, like, religion and stuff, because my conspiracy theory has everything to do with reincarnation, simulations, religions, and cults.
Oh, yeah.
So
let's dive into it, y'all. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. Like, do you think this is crazy? Like, do you think it's a coincidence? Do you have any ideas how they might have built this underground 4,500 years ago?
Yeah. Okay. So to start, let's start with the theory that we live multiple lives. The theory of reincarnation. This is a principle that you often see spiritually within, like, Hindu communities, Buddhist communities, New Age belief systems, And they believe that reincarnation is just the cycle of you coming back and experiencing your karma, whether that be from a past life or from actions that you are taking in your current life. They think that everything is connected. So I just find it crazy because there have been children that have come into this world and can prove, so to speak, can prove that they reincarnated as the child that they are now, but they had a previous life with, say, another person who died during a different lifetime. Mm-hmm. So, for example, there was this child. His name was James. Mm-hmm. Don't know how to say his last name, so we're just going to call this child James. Mm-hmm. He came into life. I believe he was around between 4 and 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And he started to tell his mother about his life as a World War II pilot.
Oh, wow.
And he was able to tell them exactly where he died, what happened, where his grave is, where his family was from, all of these things, and they ended up investigating, and it proved to be true.
Really?
And he's a 4-year-old child. Like, how would he know?
Yeah.
How would you even know that information unless you got it from experiencing it?
Right, right.
So I find that very...
Because that's not something someone would just find in a movie, or like even if it was a movie, it couldn't be proven. Yeah. It would be proven.
And like a child that young, like how would they even know all the details about World War II?
Right,
like,
right.
4 years old. That's actually, I know grown people who don't know anything about World War II. Yeah. So it's just like, I just find that really crazy. So we have this spiritual aspect of reincarnation, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's this other theory. It is a darker take.
Okay.
So some people argue that because we are thought to be in a simulation,
okay,
that reincarnation is not this beautiful thing of you coming back to life and, you know, reconciling your karma and all this. No, they think that it is manipulation, that we are just a code that is basically being used over and over and manipulated into different scenarios in our lives, mm-hmm. because we are stuck in a simulation.
Right.
And so this theory is called the soul trap theory, which I found very interesting. And it's saying that there are people out there who believe that the Earth is a prison planet and our souls are stuck here, and being controlled by God knows what, or right. God knows who, whether that be other gods or deities, or just higher beings that control and operate our daily reality. Mm-hmm. So I find that very interesting. It's like, is it us learning reincarnation? Is it us coming back and learning and being able to have new knowledge and maybe correct the wrongs that you had in your past life? Mm-hmm. Is it learning empathy? Is it learning all of these skills? Or are we just hamsters running on a wheel of being in a simulation and right. just being used over and over and over and over and over again? Right. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, that's just true. There's so many more options.
Very true.
Yeah, but no, I don't. Do I? You're asking me what do I think of regarding
reincarnation? Regarding reincarnation, because I find this child that I'm talking about, James, he's not the only child that has had this circumstance. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Do you think that our souls like reincarnate? Do you think that we have that previous?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you can't knock it. Yeah. You really can't knock anything, because if you could, then everyone would have a definite answer on what happens to us when we pass away. What is the afterlife like? No one has a solid answer, and so no one can really knock anything. So I can't knock reincarnation. Like, right. Maybe. I mean, there's this kid. There's others. Yeah. I don't know.
And I have
the unknown, it's just hard.
It's very true to process. And, like, I have a hard time when it comes to like coincidences. Like, I feel like nothing is a coincidence a lot of the time. I feel like things are all connected. What is that? Is that the butterfly theory or whatever? Or like the butterfly effect? Like everything is connected?
I think so.
I don't know. So I have a really hard time thinking that coincidences are just things that happen. Like it's just a coincidence.
Right.
You know? Okay. Let's move along. Keep reincarnation in your brain.
Yeah.
We're going to move along to the second part of this. So, deja vu. Have you guys heard of deja vu?
Yeah, I have it all the time. I'm like, deja vu.
Yes.
Deja vu.
Some people think deja vu is a glitch in the Matrix. Some people think that deja vu is, like scientists think it's just your brain misfiring.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or like a processing delay, so your brain just mislabeling something as a memory, even though it's not a memory. Like your brain's just playing tricks on you, basically.
Oh, wow.
Some people think that deja vu is your past life resurfacing. So again, with the reincarnation type of thing, kind of running with that. And some people think that deja vu is your parallel life bleeding into this one.
Some Us stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but I had nightmares for months after Us.
Yes, me too.
But what a incredible movie. I mean,
yeah.
Go check it out if you want, if you like parallel universes.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. Great movie. But no, I feel like with deja vu, I have deja vu all the fucking time. And I have the thing, I don't think it's called deja vu, but it's deja something. And it's when you like dream something and then that shit ends up happening. That happens to me all the time too. And it's like, what is it? What is it? Is it me in another life? Because like, where do we go when we fall asleep?
Right.
Are we still here? Our brains are somewhere. Like,
it's crazy.
We're living our lives somewhere.
Yeah. It's crazy how our brains will create all new realities for you while you sleep. I'm someone who is a dreamer. I dream a lot, and my dreams are insane, and they're all over the place, and some of them are realistic, some of them are just completely unrealistic, and I just think it's crazy how our brains come up with that shit.
But have you heard about like people who what is it called when you like dream but you're like aware that you're dreaming? Lucid dreaming. You know how they say that like sometimes they'll be in a lucid dream and then they ask people in their dream, oh, what time is it? Or where am I? Or I know that I'm dreaming. And then they all look at you all weird and then you get stuck and then you have to just like wake up. I've heard so many stories like that. And it's like, where are our brains going? Is it another reality?
Yeah.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Is it not real? Like, are they crossing over? Because when it comes to deja vu, it's like, why am I dreamed about this 3 days ago and now I'm seeing the same person. They're saying the same exact thing that they said to me in my dream. They're wearing the same thing. Like, nothing has changed. It's freaky.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is weird.
Yeah.
And so is it like, are we in a simulation? Is it just like a glitch in that code? Are we living multiple lives? Are there multiple universes and multiple realities?
Or it could just be...
Or it's just my brain
just
playing tricks on me.
Right, right. Or it's just your brain... Yeah, being... what's the word? There's a word for it. It's used a lot in, like, Christianity. What's it called? Prophetic. You know, some people may say that's a prophetic gift. Yeah. It's having a dream and then it becoming reality. So it's a lot of probably different options here. But
that's what I find so interesting about this all, because I feel like these two theories, the reincarnation theory and the deja vu theory, are both connected in their own ways. Now, let's keep moving along. Okay. We talked a little bit about parallel universes, a little bit about deja vu, and feeling like maybe it's another version of me that this is happening to or happened to, and now our brains are connected and we have the same memory, something weird like that. Yeah. But what about like, you know, when you're like missing something, like my glasses, say for instance, go missing, I know that I left them on the bed. I am 1,000% certain I left them on the bed. I am home by myself. Nobody else can take them. There's no ghost. There's no anything.
Mm-hmm.
I come back into the room. They are no longer on the bed.
Right.
Some people think that is your reality crossing over with another version of yourself. And they took the glasses. And then you come back and the glasses are right back there. So, like, what is it?
Like you had almost a blackout moment of another reality.
Yes.
And that's not what happened actually in your reality.
So it's like the crossover.
This happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I swear I put something somewhere. I swear I put the food away. I swear I washed the fork or something.
Yeah.
And and that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And then I've got to go on a whole, you know how often I lose things. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Or I could just be forgetful. But
Yeah.
and making up stuff. But it's crazy.
It is
to think
crazy.
about.
Just the possibility that, like, there's another version of you out there. Are we together in, like, another universe? do you
Right.
think?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. So the simultaneous lives. I put on here, what if your past life isn't actually in the past? What if it's happening right now, but just in a different timeline? So, like, you are existing. Let's say James, for example. James the child. He comes into his life. He's 4 years old. He has a mom and a dad. He's great.
He's in 2024.
He's in 2025.
Oh, no, I was just saying a year.
Oh, okay.
For the
So James is in 2024 when this happens to him. He starts talking about all these details about his past life of his name maybe being Peter, okay? So we're saying that James is existing, but Peter is also existing. He is also that, what did I say, World War II pilot?
Right.
And they're both simultaneously existing at the same exact time with the same exact soul, but they're on different timelines.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense in a matter of, like, you know how people say time is just a construct.
Yeah.
Like, we made up time. Like, really, in other universes, it probably makes no sense. Like, they could be on a, like, just how we can see stars that are actually no longer there.
Yeah.
Like, because they're so many light years away. Like,
Right.
it's like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, yes, it makes sense to me. If you think it in the matter of how, like, we can, just like I said, seeing stars in the sky that actually are no longer there.
Yes. So, I don't know. This simultaneous lives, like multiple lives happening at the same time, it kind of goes directly against linear reincarnation. Because with linear reincarnation, you live, you die, you come back. You live, you die, you come back. It just is a cycle over and over and over again.
Right.
With this theory, you live, you die, you come back. Your soul is just existing in multiple places at the same time. Interesting.
Yeah.
I found that quite interesting because I hadn't heard about that before. Like,
Right.
you existing at the same time, but it's a past life, but it's not really a past life.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Yeah. So I found that really interesting. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. I think that one may be the hardest one to grasp.
Yeah. Like, okay. So on here, your soul may be experiencing multiple lives at once, but just in different time periods, bodies, or dimensions. And some people call these soul fragments or parallel selves. So you might have the same exact be you. You are literally you, but just, I don't know, living in the 20th century, living in the 12th century. But you're all still living at the same time.
Right.
I don't know. I find it quite interesting because, like, we can't prove any of this.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. And it kind of, like, goes with the quantum theory, you know,
Yeah.
Marvel.
Spider-Man.
Yes. All of those theories.
Into the Spider-Verse.
If you know anything about that, I just find this quite interesting. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about, the simulation theory, because we talked about reincarnation.
Right.
We talked about deja vu.
Right.
We talked about the multiverse of you. And now we're going to talk about simulation. So, who's running it? Who is running the simulation?
Right.
There have been multiple stories, multiple encounters of people who have experienced glitches in the Matrix, glitches in the simulation, people like randomly pausing and fucking glitching, not moving. There's so many videos like on the internet. I find it so crazy that like there are these glitches and they are being used to prove to some that we are stuck in a simulation.
Right. No, I've seen stuff like that where like Honey, our dog, and Cleo will like, they'll do the exact same thing. Like they'll walk with the exact same feet and stop at the exact same time and look over at the same time. That is some of the creepiest shit.
It's very freaky.
And
then they just stop. And it's like, where did you go?
Right.
And then they're back and they're acting normal.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very strange. And I'm like getting chills talking about it because it's like, I don't know who's controlling it. And so some people, this is where I think the religion aspect, I'm starting to tie it in, because some people think that God is their orchestrator, right? Like, you could say that we are in God's, whoever your God may be, simulation.
Right.
To the ancient Egyptians, whoever their God may be, whoever their gods are, they were the ones that were pulling all the strings. So it's like, I don't know. I find that interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? It seems like there always has to be somebody that's pulling the strings.
It's really the different religions. The difference is just who's pulling the strings, who's in control.
Right.
You know, is it God? Is it
a computer? Are we just
is
code?
It a computer? Is it? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on different religious beliefs and who is in charge. Is it yourself? Because like I feel like Buddhism, no, they pray.
But you know, like there's some people who take like say like medicinal drugs, say a shroom for example, and they say that they meet their higher selves. Another version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like how many versions of yourself is there? Is it infinite? Are you God? Like, are you the one that's controlling everything? Is it all a lie and we are the ones that are in control and we just use all of these things to make us feel better about
like,
our lives, like being fucked? Like, what is it? You know?
Right, like is it all just in the mind?
Yeah.
And it's just unlocking something in your mind at the end of the day to reach a higher self, and it's all within you.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys. I find it interesting. Let us know what you think.
I don't know. This is a really tough topic for me.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't
feel
bring
like
much
there's
to this. So many avenues that it could be. Yeah. You know, like there's not one definite answer, which makes it hard because these are all like abstract ideas and constructs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to talk about today was the difference between a religion and a cult. I have found this so interesting, this conversation of what makes a belief system be a religion versus it
a cult
being a cult.
Right, where the line is blurry.
It's very
super blurry.
Yeah.
And we like to watch a lot of like cult stuff.
Yeah.
So okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, after doing some research, the definition of a religion, the most basic definition of a religion is a widely accepted system of faith or worship, often with historical roots, sacred texts, moral codes, and rituals, typically involving a belief in a higher power or a divine force. Okay. Yes. So a cult is typically a small isolated group with unorthodox or extreme beliefs, often centered around a charismatic leader and characterized by manipulative control over members. You guys, this is tricky because I feel like there can be manipulation in both. And I also feel like with a cult, who is it that's saying, who's judging whether or not their beliefs are extreme or unorthodox?
Right.
Is the difference at the end of the day just one being widely accepted over another not being widely accepted?
Because this talking about small isolated groups, often centered around a charismatic leader characterized by manipulative control over members. You could say that in certain religions who meet in almost churches or something like that, with a small amount with members.
Yeah.
And they all look to their leader, the preacher, and he says
who gets
what
revelations from their God and preaches that to control their members.
Right.
And
there's some that are extreme and some that are more...
Yeah, and there's some with good intentions and there's some with not.
I think anybody who's been in, like, again, anyways, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, no, so you can continue with what you were saying, but like,
we both people have had bad experiences.
Yeah, we both grew up in the church, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent. When I was growing up and I was like a teen, I really struggled with the fact that we weren't technically in a cult, but it felt like a cult. Like, everything that everyone was telling me was that, oh, this is right. We're Christians. We're doing everything by the book. But it's like, at what point does it shift from us just being Christians to it turning into a cult?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're pushing your beliefs, you're saying these rules, you're telling people what they should do. People come to you for advice, they come to you for anything that they need. Do they not do that with pastors anyway? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, do they not do that with priests? The Pope? Is he not one charismatic leader?
Right. It's just like, yeah, at what point does... In these situations where, let's just say there's a small church and they found out the pastor was a fraud and he was doing a bunch of stuff they didn't realize he was doing that was very bad against the Bible, and then that church has to shut down.
Yeah.
Was at one point technically that church a cult then if their leader was a fraud and was manipulating them? I don't know. Does that make sense?
But it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess with us bringing up this conversation, it's like, is religion manipulative? And I'm not just talking about Christianity. I'm talking about all religion. Like, is it manipulative to get you to behave a certain way, or act a certain way, or do certain things for a specific cause? Is it? Like, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I do think that it's a good dialogue to have, because it's like, I know that in Christianity, I'm just speaking from Christianity because that's what I have dealt with personally.
Right.
But I know that there is a lot of misogyny within the church. There's a lot of
money scams.
Yeah. Money.
It's the center of a lot of churches.
Yes, there's a lot of just like backwards thinking, you know,
like women can't be leaders.
Yes, exactly. And so it's like, I don't know, are they using that beliefs? And then you look at like what religion has done and how it was used alongside colonization. And it just makes you start to think, because I'm not even just talking about the Christians, but like, what about like Islamic religions? And they even colonized different parts of Northern Africa, different parts within the East. And so it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day, the lines between religion and cults, the lines are very blurry. And I think one is just more accepted by a larger group of people than another, you know? Because it's not like there's just one pastor that's over all of the churches in the entire world.
Right. It's probably like billions.
Yeah. But it's like, then you think about the Pope, and the Pope is like the priest over all the priests.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys think.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what y'all think.
I hope that nobody feels offended.
Right.
Honestly.
We're just
spitballing. Yeah.
Spitballing, talking about different people's opinions and just seeing what y'all have to say. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I wrote down the differences between a religion and a cult, but I feel like we covered all of them,
Right.
honestly. They do say that cults are often secretive or closed off. They're often dangerous or deviant, but it's like, what about like the far right or far left groups?
Right.
Like that use religion as their backbone.
Right.
I feel like you could go to extremes with anything
Yes, for sure.
on either side of the either side of the spectrum. So it's like, I don't know, it's just very interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that this was like a conspiracy thing, but it is something that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Just because
I
it's
think
like,
so.
yeah, because it's just like, where are the lines at? Are there
Right.
any lines? Is this just a gray area? I'm not sure. And like, is religion a conspiracy theory? Are belief systems just a theory? You know?
Right, because you can't.
Prove it.
Right.
With the conspiracy
and
theories that we just talked about, technically, you can't prove
none
it.
of them are 100%.
Yeah, nothing's definite. Nothing's definite, and I feel like you don't know what happens until you die,
Yeah.
unfortunately. That's just how it is. You
Yeah.
don't- Okay, do we want to move on to Reddit?
Yeah, let me check out this video.
Okay, you guys. So I have our first. Okay, you guys. So I have our first story. And this is from the Best of Redditor Updates subreddit. Okay. Am I the asshole for wanting to divorce my transgender wife? In parentheses, they put, I am a lesbian.
Lesbian.
Okay, so I made a throwaway account because I really don't want my wife finding this. I am a lesbian, 38 female who was raised by extremely homophobic parents. They were Catholics and would often lecture me on the dangers of homosexuality, banned me from seeing my gay friends, etc. When I was a teenager, they caught me kissing my girlfriend at the time because I got careless and left my door open, and they immediately kicked her out of the house and would not let me see her anymore. Since then, I've had to convince them that it was just a phase. Otherwise, I'd be written out of the will and most likely disowned. I have no other family except my sister, but she's 11 years younger than me, and at the time would not have been able to help, as she is still basically a child. So I did something a bit regrettable. I married my best friend from high school. He was straight, which was a bit of a red flag, but at the time, I didn't really question it because we were very close and I would have done pretty much anything for him. The agreement was that our marriage would be completely platonic and for convenience's sake, and that we could pursue relationships outside of it. So it's giving lavender marriage. Then my husband comes out as transgender. It was a huge shock, as she, I'll be using she from now on, had never really discussed this with me before or given me any indication that she didn't identify as a guy. She'd always been quite masculine, not to stereotype, in parentheses, but was into typical male things like football. Again, I don't mean to be transphobic here at all. I'm just emphasizing my point at how much I didn't see this coming. Anyway, she tells me that she wants to start transitioning, which is a bit of a problem because my parents would not accept that. I suggested that it might be a good idea for us to get divorced now, but for some reason she refused. This was the point when I started to realize that she might have actual romantic feelings for me. She'd never really shown interest in finding anyone else and often wanted to do things like cuddle with me and even kiss me on the cheek and things like that, but I'd always thought that was just because we were such close friends. Anyway, I tried to insist, but she told me that my safety means more to her than her transitioning. I think this is ridiculous and that I don't want to let her do that because dysphoria is no joke. I think she's hoping that I'll magically become attracted to her and want to be together for real, but that just isn't going to happen. I only see her as a friend. I want what's best for her, which is what I believe is for us to divorce so she can get on with her life, but I feel bad for forcing her into that when she's done so much for me. Am I the asshole? Edit. I probably worded that a bit about being disowned badly. It wasn't about being written out of the will. I was 16 at the time and my parents still had a lot of control over me. I was scared they would kick me out and I had no other family to go with. Also, living with them knowing that I was gay was awful because I because I do love them, and again, they were my only family. I would have been banned from seeing my little sister, who I loved more than anything, and basically a world without my family seemed very bleak, but I still know I shouldn't have done what I did. I also love my wife more than anything, despite not being attracted to her in any way. She is a better friend than I could have asked for. If I hadn't been stupid enough to miss that she had feelings for me earlier, I would have never agreed to marry her. Thoughts?
This is just a mess. It's
Yeah.
an absolute mess. The fact that she got into this lavender marriage just so that she wouldn't be disowned by a family that hates who she is.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, she should have been like, okay, when I turn this age, like, she's 38. When I finally establish, because I understand being at home, you know, you rely on them, you need them for food
Yeah.
and protection and all that. But, like, once she established herself, that should have been the end of it. And really, there should have been no need for a lavender marriage. And she should have set boundaries with her family and been like, hey, listen, if you can't love me, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And then that would have been that. Because who wants to play a fraud their whole life? That sounds really tough. Sounds like you need a lot of therapy for that. But
And, like, how fair is that to your friend? Like, it wasn't fair to your friend. Even if your friend agreed to the marriage, like, okay, you're going out, you're living your life, you're still having relationships with other people, and your friend is just, like, stuck in this marriage and
Right.
literally in love with you.
right. No, I don't have too much sympathy for the friend myself, because they should have said, like, girl, no. Like, I don't, maybe, I'm not saying they were a pushover or anything like that, but maybe they, I don't know, maybe they agreed to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all had a mutual agreement and y'all got deep into it. Deep into it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, 10 years into it. But, and now, but I think I'm not putting this all on OP. I think the friend, why won't she allow OP to get a divorce? You know, like, now that she's a transgender woman,
Yeah.
OP's not good with it. The whole thing's a sham anyways.
Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like OP is a pussy. Because the fact that you still want to, the only reason that you want to get a divorce is because you don't want your parents to find out. Like, I don't know.
At 38?
That does not sit right with me. I feel like that's wrong. Yeah, I don't feel like that's right at all. Like, your reasoning should not be right. And it was coming off a bit homophobic, even though you put in parentheses not to be homophobic, not to have a stereotype. You were stereotyping. That is very transphobic. Like, for you to say, oh, she's not into stereotypical feminine things, and then the only thing you list off was football.
Yeah.
Like, as if there aren't plenty of women who love football
And
are
playing football.
Yeah, and are football fans. Like, I just find that completely, it didn't need to be said. You're
Yeah.
saying that, I was just saying this so that you could understand how caught off out of left field I was. But, like, as a queer person, you should know that these stereotypes are just what you call them, stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like, they do not apply to every single person, and it's very disappointing and disheartening to hear that from another queer woman. Like,
Right.
I always find the transphobia really icky, especially from other queer people, because it's like they're still a part of our community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just very disheartening.
Yeah, like, I'm a lesbian, but being transgender is worse.
Yeah,
like, there is
like,
no word.
It's just very icky, and it's very strange. I do think that you guys need to just go ahead and get a divorce. Maybe the reasoning is not the best, but you need to get a divorce. You both need to go on and live your lives and be happy. You need to stand in your truth, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Go on and come out the closet and get a divorce.
yeah, and like, you're staying with this person. I feel like the best friend thinks that, like, you're like their comfort blanket or something, because them willing to not transition just because of you, like, and they're in a loveless marriage, like,
it sounds pretty,
it's
like, maybe they
pretty
have
bad.
really low self-esteem,
Yeah.
and she's been like a crutch to them.
yeah. It's just very disheartening. honestly. And also, I wanted to say, her talking about being written out of the will, it sounds like that is the big reason on why you don't want to come out. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, you're saying that you were just 16 and scared and alone. Okay, we understand that, but now you're 40 years old.
Right.
And what is it now? You're still going to divorce, not because you want a divorce and you want your current partner to be happy and healthy and live their life as the woman that they are. You want a divorce because you don't want to get written out of the will and you don't want to be disowned. Which I can understand not wanting to be disowned, but at the end of the day, it's causing more damage to you.
Right.
So.
And maybe she's put 10 years in now and gone through her suffering, so she still shouldn't be punished.
Yeah.
Will wise, I'm talking about. Like, she's put on this facade for her family for so long.
Yeah.
For all of it to become crumbling down, and not even because of her. She probably feels like, oh, nah, I done thugged it out this long. I don't know.
So we have an update, you guys. It's not very long. I'm going to go ahead and read it. Okay. Firstly, I want to thank all of you who gave your opinions and advice. After reading some of the comments, I realized that I left this situation for way too long. So I had to sit down with my girlfriend and my wife, and we had a long, long talk. Firstly, to all those asking if my wife is pretending to be transgender in hopes that she'll become my type, the answer is a big no. In fact, she doesn't have romantic feelings for me at all, which I'm so glad of. It turns out that the reason she hasn't pursued anyone in 10 years that we've been married is because she doesn't really feel romantic or sexual attraction at all towards anyone. As a member of the LGBTQ community myself, I have heard of this. Again, I was surprised that she had never said anything to me, but she told me that she'd always felt quite ashamed of this because it's not normal. That's why she agreed to marry me in the first place. She didn't want to marry anyone for real, and marrying me was her ticket to a single life without being judged. Secondly, I'm going to come clean to my parents. It took a lot of convincing and a lot of tears from both my girlfriend and my wife. Yeah, we never even mentioned the fact that she has a girlfriend and is making her girlfriend stay in the closet because she doesn't want to come out to her parents. Like, don't get into a relationship with someone if you are not ready to come out, because it's just very selfish at the end of the day. Nobody deserves to have to be hidden away. Your partner should not have to feel like they're a burden or being hidden from the people that you love or people that are most important in your life, because it's like, what value do I have?
I've done that, though, y'all. Back in the day when I was in college and I hadn't come out yet to my mom and my family, I hid my girlfriends. I'm not proud of it, but I'm saying, I've been there. And just that fear, that unknown and that anxiety is just...
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is selfish.
Yeah.
And I don't think... And I've done that, too, probably when I was around, 18. Mm-hmm. But, like... It is a selfish decision, and I understand being fearful and being scared, especially when you have so much on the line. But your partner deserves for that same respect.
Right.
That you're giving all these other people who, at the end of the day, wouldn't respect you anyway if they knew that you were queer.
Right.
Okay, so let's continue. So secondly, I'm going to come clean to my parents. It took a lot of tears from both my girlfriend and my wife, but I told them that they've done so much for me and it was time for me to start thinking about them and not myself. I don't feel comfortable doing it in person, so I will be telling them over the phone. To protect my wife, I will be telling them all she didn't know I was gay, and now that she's found out we will be divorcing, I will not tell them that she was transitioning. Before I tell them, my wife and my girlfriend will be moving in with my sister's family for a while until it's all blown over. As much as I hope my parents will just cut me off, knowing them, there will be some harassment and it may not be safe for them to be living with me.
Damn.
That's awful. Depending on how my parents react, I may have to move out the house so that they can't track me down. I don't believe that they would physically harm me, but I'm not certain of that, and besides, there are other ways that they can hurt me. Once everything has blown over, my girlfriend and I will move back together. My wife will stay with us too through her transition, and she's welcome to stay with us as long as she wants to after that. We'll get a divorce, so she'll finally be back to just my best friend. My wife is a wonderful person. My girlfriend is too, and so is my sister. I am less wonderful, but I am thankful that I have been given a chance to put things right. Also, fuck the whale.
Wow,
OP turned it around.
Took a lot of accountability, y'all.
Yeah, OP really turned it around, and I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, that's huge.
And yeah, I'm glad that.
Sounds like they were extremely homophobic, like
Yeah.
extremely homophobic, like
Yeah.
harming. Because
Coming
there's levels.
after you,
Yeah.
like that's so scary, and I'm so sorry that that's something that you have to deal with. But I'm so proud of you for taking the step to come out and showing the respect to both your partners, and yeah, just being a supportive friend at the end of the day, like allowing for your best friend to continue to stay with you. You guys are gonna get a divorce.
Right.
I feel like you talked it out like adults.
Yeah.
That is.
They pulled it around.
Yeah, like you get a gold star.
Right.
Truly get a gold star.
All right, y'all. So let's hop into this next story. Let us know what you think about the last one.
Yes.
All right. So, am I the asshole for not believing my boyfriend that suddenly became gay due to the altitude difference when he was on a work trip in Utah?
Please.
Altitude?
Please. That's
More
a new one.
altitude.
I've never heard that before.
All right. I can hardly believe that I am writing this or that it happened, but I am, and it did, so here we go. I, 28 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for 3 years. Every now and then he has to go to Utah for a few days because his team has a customer service branch that operates out there. I got a text from one of his coworkers who has become a friend of ours, and it said that on the trip my boyfriend cheated on me with some guy on the customer care team. I did not believe it at first because, first of all, my boyfriend has always identified as straight, and second of all, I just couldn't believe it. When he got home, I asked him about it, basically expecting him to confirm it was nonsense. Instead, he got real quiet and had to sit down and said he had to tell me something. He said it was true. He did have a one-night stand with a guy, and I couldn't believe it. I asked him if he was telling me he was gay or bisexual, and regardless, cheating is cheating.
Yes.
Cheating is cheating. He insisted that he was not gay at all, but the strangest thing happened. He said that when he was at dinner with his Utah coworker, he suddenly became gay.
Please.
I was like, what? What the fuck? He said he thinks it was due to the altitude. I was like, you're fucking with me, right? But he said after he had done it with this guy, he got really confused as to how all of a sudden he was gay. He said that higher altitudes can have an impact on how people think and on their emotions. And he thinks that the high altitude made him gay temporarily. He said that as soon as he landed back home, he was back being straight. I was like, did he get drugged or something? But he said that that was not possible. They were always at a group dinner, which is when he became gay and was only alone with the guy afterwards. He said he had done a lot of thinking and on the drive back from the airport and confirmed within himself that he is straight and that his only conclusion could be that he temporarily turned gay due to the altitude. I was like, whatever, I guess we are breaking up. He looked at me confused. I was like, gay or not, you did cheat on me. He said it wasn't his fault and that human actions are just byproducts of accidental brain chemistry and that his chemistry has been altered through no fault of his own, but due to higher altitudes of Utah. He said he couldn't believe I would blame him for something medical and scientific that was out of his control. He really looked bewildered that I was angry about this. I don't know, maybe he's convincing and I am a rube, but I am starting to wonder if I am overreacting. Like, I know it sounds insane, but is it possible to accidentally change your sexual orientation due to emotional change brought on by altitude? Is that possible? And if it is, am I overreacting? Should I throw away a 3-year relationship for this? He's acting like I'm being rude and weird. I'm confused.
The
What a dumb
gaslighting
bitch.
is...
What a dumb bitch. Run, bitch. Run. He's gay. He's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. It don't have altitude don't have nothing to do with it. Nothing to the day.
The gaslighting is insane. He's just using big words.
He's just using it's no scientific fact. Google it. Like, is she serious?
Oh my god.
Is she serious? Run away.
I just want to know
Run.
what else that he's been doing. I want to know if this is the first time. She says that this happens frequently.
It's not
that he
the
goes
first
on this
time.
trip. Like,
He's probably cheating down at home.
I'm just absolutely bamboozled.
He's a liar.
He's a liar and he's a
lying.
gaslighter.
And he's
And
gaslighting
this story
and he's
is
manipulating
ridiculous.
you. And you're a dumb bitch. And Google that shit.
Please,
Girl,
please.
altitude don't
Girl,
change
please
nothing.
don't let him get in your head. What the fuck?
Talking about she's wasted 3 years. So you about to sounds like waste the rest of your life.
Yeah, if you
and might
stay with
and
that.
get checked while you're at it
Yeah, 'cause
regularly.
what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
And this-
he temporarily turned gay, but then when he touched back down at home, he turned straight again.
And again, what's that got to do with having
Wouldn't
self-control?
everybody turn gay
What's
in
that
Utah?
what's that have to do with having self-control and staying committed to your partner? Like, oh, you found someone attractive.
It's not
so
an
you had to
overnight
smash?
switch, baby.
You had to smash. You couldn't help yourself. Do you have problems with commitment? Then this could happen again. What happened to just if making a commitment to someone and sticking to that, regardless if you find someone else attractive?
I'm just flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted.
I thought this was hilarious. Let's read the comments. Let's just read one, all right? So someone said, even if it were possible and it's not, he's telling you that he can't help but cheat on you because human actions are just a byproduct of accidental brain
Like,
chemistry.
where did he even come up with that?
Even if he's not into dudes anymore, there's plenty of girls who can cheat. He can cheat with because of his own admission. He can't control himself when he's attracted to someone, not the asshole. Period.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Leave him.
Oh
You want to
my
waste
God.
more time?
Somebody said the biology in my leg would just keep kicking your testicles. I wish I could make it stop. I really do. No, because, like, are you serious?
You love saying you want to kick somebody in the knees. So. That is so painful. That is such a painful thing to say.
Yeah.
You want to kick somebody in their knees.
Honestly, this is crazy. Okay, you guys, we have one last story. We told you that we were gonna do a few stories. We're gonna stand by our word. Let me go to our last story. Okay, here is our last story for you guys. Last story of the episode. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that our parents do not have to agree with her relationship? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. My 21 female sister isn't accepted by my 29 male parents for being gay. Throwaway account so my family can't click this link.
I'm sorry,
Can't
but
link this
how
back
is
to
she
me.
21 and her parents are 29?
No, her brother. Her brother's 29. Her brother's the one writing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so for some context, my little sister is a lesbian. Our family does not support her decisions, but I don't give a fuck who she sleeps with. When she came out, she was distanced from the family, but we started talking again after finding out our father is dying. After things in the family being rocky for a long time, we decided to all get together at my parents' house. My dad said he wanted to put all of the drama and bickering aside, and if we have a problem with each other, we can just wait until he passes. Oh. Everyone agreed, including my sister, so I was expecting to have a nice family barbecue. My family wanted to meet my sister's girlfriend and insisted that she brought her over. We were all excited to meet her. My sister's girlfriend seemed like a nice girl, but she was very standoffish. She kept to herself and didn't speak much to my parents and me. For the most part, she was glued to my sister. This caused some awkward silence. I started asking her about their relationship. How did they meet? How long have they been together? I even joked around about if she hurt my sister, blah, blah, blah. My parents started acting stranger by each question. I asked my mom what was wrong, and her response was, "This isn't right." I could tell my sister and her girlfriend were uncomfortable, and my dad tried to calm my mom down. My sister, probably fed up with being treated like shit for the last few years, spoke up and asked my parents what was the point of inviting them over if she wasn't going to be okay with seeing them together. This caused my mother to explode with anger because she felt like my sister was being disrespectful. My mother goes on to say a lot of other things that I'm not going to say because I will be banned. My sister started to cry and hyperventilate. Her girlfriend starts to comfort her and tries to get her to calm down, and this causes my mom to tell her that if you're going to be dramatic and act like a child, you need to leave. You're upsetting your father. Before my sister could respond, her girlfriend is grabbing their things and taking my sister to the car. I tried to rationalize this whole situation with my parents, but they were no use. They thought she was putting on a show in front of her girlfriend to make them look bad. They proceeded to say that they're allowed to be uncomfortable and feel differently than her. I explained to them that this is who she loves. No one has to agree with it, but we should still love her. I tried talking to my sister about the whole situation, and I apparently defend our parents too much. I told her that our parents don't have to agree with her relationship, but they should. She told me that I'm being an asshole for expecting her to pretend that it's somebody else expecting her to pretend to be someone else just because our dad is dying. Am I the asshole?
I just don't understand why they even invited her over if they were just gonna and then like him saying she was uncomfortable and standoffish. What do you expect? She can probably feel that energy.
Yeah, like what was the point?
She knows they're homophobic.
What was
and
the
don't like her.
because
like,
your father is dying and now he wants to reconcile? They don't want to reconcile with you.
And it's not okay to hate them being together. Like him telling his sister that it's okay that they don't agree. And,
no. What is there to
okay.
agree on? What
That's
is there to
not okay.
agree on? The relationship is between two
Cleo,
people.
stop it.
The relationship is between two people. I do not understand why other people have to agree on a relationship that is between two people. It's not for everyone else. There's nothing to agree or disagree on. It's not open for discussion.
Right.
It makes no sense to me. Oh my God, it makes no sense to me. Yes, you're absolutely the asshole.
Yeah.
OP. You're absolutely
And then trying
the
to
asshole.
tell her that it's okay that they don't like their relationship, like that makes no sense.
Okay, do you want to read some comments? We have some relevant comments.
Do you feel me, babe? Like him telling her that she needs to be fine with them not being okay.
Yeah, no, it's always the gay people that have to just deal with the bullshit. Just deal with the hatred and suck it up and just say that, oh, everything's fine just so I can be loved and be accepted for just a crumb of love and a crumb of acceptance. But I need to shut up and shove myself into a closet and shut the fuck up. That's literally what they're telling her. Oh my God, just wait until your father passes.
Damn.
Like, what the oh my God. You're upsetting your father? It seemed like her mom was the one that was so upset.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Somebody said, dude, when you go around known bigots, you warn any LGBTQ plus people so they aren't blindsided and cannot attend if they can't handle bigotry and can harden their hearts against the cruelty that they will experience. Your parents would have been jerks even if she hadn't been standoffish because they are bigots. Your sister didn't start drama. She prepared her girlfriend accordingly. Just like you'd prepare your dates if your dad liked to pinch your girlfriend's butt. That's what you would do. That's a weird comparison.
That's so random.
Somebody said, first of all, my dad wouldn't do that. OP said, first of all, my dad wouldn't do that. Second, I understand her telling her girlfriend that they don't accept her before coming. I'm sure she's known for a while. It's just hard for me to believe that all the drama and the hyperventilating and the sobbing was real.
How? Does he not understand the emotional distress?
Especially if she's known for years that our parents feel this way. If the situation is so bad, why put yourself through it? They invited her. They begged her. And so did he.
Right? She was putting herself out on a limb and her girlfriend and had to retreat.
Oh my God. If the situation is so bad, why put yourself through it? I'm starting to agree that maybe it was for attention because why else would she be so eager to argue with our mom just about her sexuality?
She wasn't eager.
Like, I don't get it. I am genuinely starting to believe that she put on a show for her girlfriend and her girlfriend fell for it. Like, what? Your mother said horrible things to your sister and her girlfriend that you can't type out on fucking Reddit, and you think your sister was faking being upset about that? And OP said, I think the hyperventilating and sobbing was very dramatic. I understand her being upset for sure, but my dad didn't deserve the drama. Your dad's a bigot?
He's going back and forth defending his parents.
Like, it's crazy.
At this point, he's the problem.
Yeah, he's a part of the problem.
He's just going back and forth.
We have an update. You ready?
Oh.
After receiving so much backlash from this post, I realized that I wasn't completely innocent in this situation. You think? I called my sister to apologize and try to talk through things. I told her about the post I made despite wanting to keep this away from my family, and I said that a lot of people explain to me how I'm being hurtful and harming her. I wanted her to see that I'm talking to some people who have been in similar situations to her, and I thought she would see this as a sign that I'm trying for her. She got really upset that I didn't come to her instead of the internet, but I told her I felt like I had no other choice. My parents wouldn't listen to me, she wouldn't listen to me, and the only people who I have are strangers online. I explained that I got a lot of advice on how I can support her from other people a part of her community. My sister told me that I had no right to talk about her business online without consulting her, even if it's anonymous. She wanted to see the post. I assumed she saw some of my comments I made when I was being defensive and immature, and in hindsight, I should have deleted them before agreeing to send her the post. She started to cry and told me that we've always made her feel like a burden on our family for things that she can't help. Example, being a lesbian, having a panic disorder. She has a panic disorder and he was calling her. Oh my God. And some other things that I won't share out of respect for her. She went on to say.
Not much left.
Like, are you serious? She went on to say some other things and they were hard to understand. I apologize for making her uncomfortable and making her feel like a burden. I also told her that I love her and nothing will change that. Before I had the chance to say anything more, her girlfriend took the phone and told me that I needed to leave my sister alone. She said that I can't contact my sister until she's ready to talk to me. Then she hung up. It was really heartbreaking to hear my sister cry over something that I had good intentions for. I texted her privately and asked if she wanted me to take the post down, and she told me that she doesn't care. She just wants to be left alone.
What an idiot.
He's such an idiot.
So now he's like, now that he knows he was doing wrong, he's trying to say he didn't mean it. But then he literally, in the last post, he literally was calling her a burden, and she's doing too much, and she's overreacting, and she's the problem.
My daddy didn't deserve this.
And now he's all like, oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, no, you're not a burden.
Yeah. And now he's mad because she's mad that she doesn't want to talk to him because of how he reacted. Like, you did this to yourself, sir. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, the conclusion was that OP definitely is the asshole.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. Are we too harsh, do you think?
No.
I would like to know what our listeners think, honestly.
No, we're not too harsh.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think a majority of the comments here agreed with what we said.
Yeah. It's just crazy. People out here are crazy. The homophobia is crazy.
Yeah, that's bad.
But yeah, that's all we have for you this week.
Yeah. Let us know if you like this episode, if you like the conspiracies, if you didn't like them. You know, you can put the hate comments in.
Yeah,
I don't want to speak hate comments in.
No, not
put
hate
whatever
comments,
you want.
but you know, constructive criticism would be very nice.
All right, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in and sticking to the end.
Thank you.
If you stay till the end of the video and watch the whole thing, drop some, let's say, green hearts in the chat and let us know what's up. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Let us know what you want to hear next. And yeah, we're going to try to be consistent for y'all and continue to produce better and better content. So please give us some constructive criticism. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, and we love you, and we will see you next week for our next episode.
All right.
Thank you again.
Bye.